He's Tom Verducci, the Sports Illustrated senior writer, Fox and Baseball Network analyst. He joins us. Where are you today, Tom?
I'm at Citi Field. There's no game today, though. I just found out there's no Mets game.
Is there a press conference there? What are you doing at Citi Field?
No, there's actually a Baseball Writers Association meeting.
Oh.
Now, that's a TV show.
Wow.
I don't know why we don't have cameras on that, but yeah.
Does it ever get ugly?
Oh, yeah. That's why we should have cameras. It's good TV. Yeah, people let it all hang out.
Well, wait. What are you arguing over?
Well, everybody's cranky after the postseason. We're all on short sleep, right? For a month of just knockdown, drag-out games going till 3 in the morning. So we have these postseason awards that we give out. Besides the major awards, the national awards, the New York chapter has their own awards. So there's a lot of arguing about who deserves what. It's all sleep deprivation.
Is DeGrom getting your pitching award?
To me, he would, Dan. I know people look at the one-loss record and say that's not a Cy Young winner, but the award goes to the best pitcher in the league, period. And I defy anybody to come up with a good argument on how it's anybody else but DeGrom.
All right. That leads me to Clayton Kershaw's afternoon. The deadline was extended by both sides here for the opportunity for him to opt out. What do you think Clayton Kershaw will do and should do?
I think the Dodgers are going to extend his contract. He's got 2 years and $65 million left on the contract. Now, he's not going to get that average annual value from the Dodgers or anybody else down the road here. But this is pretty much his chance to use leverage for probably the last time. You think about where his leverage might be 2 years from now, the way his stuff is trending down. He won't have a lot of leverage then. So, you know, the Yankees did this with Sabathia in 2011. They added 1 year and $30 million to his contract. He's not going to get that kind of dollars. Sabathia is coming off a better year in 11 than Kershaw is 18. But listen, Clayton's an institution. He's an icon with the Dodgers. He's still an effective pitcher. He's not an elite pitcher in terms of stuff, but he can still win games for you. The back is certainly an issue. I don't think with his stuff right now, Dan, he should be thinking about going to the American League. I know the Texas Rangers have been floated as a possibility. I think they work this thing out and, you know, just kind of play with the years and added dollars here as an extension rather than, you know, a full-blown brand-new contract.
What about Manny Machado's future?
Don't think he's going back to the Dodgers. I think he did cost himself some money here with the postseason, just the way he responded. You know, admitting that he doesn't hustle, you know, spiking people at first base unnecessarily, not running out balls, a whole laundry list. Here's what one manager told me, Dan, that Machado is going to get paid. I think we all know that. But he might have cost himself years because when you think about a 10-year deal, and that's what we've seen for somebody in their mid-20s, a great player like Machado, you're making that guy your franchise player. That means you're invested in a guy for a 10-year period where he's going to influence all the younger players in your organization, be the face of your franchise. I think this postseason gave some teams, maybe many teams, pause about whether they want to make Manny Machado that kind of franchise player. Take him for the next 3 or 4 years at just incredible dollars, you know, $35 million to $40 million. Yeah, I think teams might be willing to do that. But I think that long-term investment is going to scare a lot of people.
What about Dave Roberts' future with the Dodgers? Is he safe?
I think he's safe. I had heard that they were working on an extension even before the postseason began. Listen, that's a tough team to manage, right? I mean, you have the influences from above and below. Above, you have very analytically inclined front office, a lot of people there with experience, very hands-on. And below, you have a very tough clubhouse, whether it's, you know, the platoon system that they run, where you're trying to get everyday players part-time roles and keep them happy and productive, or some of the personalities, you know, a Puig, a Peterson, a Machado. It's a difficult group. I thought he did a really good job. You know, listen, 3 straight years he's been to at least the NLCS, twice the World Series. I think he's going to come back. Dan, listen, a lot of people got on him in the postseason for his managing moves. I mean, we do that anyway, right? The games are so high-profile. But I think he did a good job with the bullpen usage. The problem for me is the Dodgers didn't hit, and that made every pitching move critical that he made when it didn't work out. They just didn't hit enough to withstand one move that didn't work out.
Does Bryce Harper know where he's playing next year?
No, I don't. I do think Bryce, in a perfect world, would love to go back to Washington. You know, it's the only organization he's known since he's been, 17, 18 years old. There's definitely a comfort level there. They've been competitive, haven't gotten out of the first round. But no, I would say the answer to your question, though, Dan, is probably he's going to go to the team that offers him the most money. I truly believe that. I think this is all about a bidding war. I think he wants to get at least $1 more than Giancarlo Stanton to have the longest contract given to an everyday player. And who that team is right now, I don't know, but I think that will drive the decision more than any kind of feelings for the Washington Nationals.
Well, you know, I look at Bryce Harper, and I know that you had the cover story on him when he was, 17?
16. 16 years old,
so how does he handle the pressure? So 16, you're on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and you're the LeBron James of baseball. And now, does he want that title of the highest paid player in baseball? Does he want the added pressure that goes along with it? How does he handle it?
Yeah, I think he does. I'll never forget writing that story. Now, when I reported this story when he was 16, I didn't know it was going to be the cover. But then when I found out that it was, at first I was like, well, that's a pretty big ask to put a high school kid on the cover of SI. Well, I came away thinking, Dan, this is the one kid, and he was a kid at the time, who can handle that. I think he's grown up with the spotlight on him. I think he enjoys it. I don't think there's any extra added pressure if he's got a huge contract. I think he needs to learn how to win. That's the biggest thing. I think he needs to be in a culture where winning is the top priority. I think it would help if there was another star player on the team where he just didn't have to be the guy to lead the team entirely in terms of being, as a clubhouse leader. I think getting him in the right atmosphere is going to help him win. But in terms of pressure, my goodness, he got to live up to a contract. I don't see that being an issue with this guy. I know we've seen that in the past with a lot of guys. I think he's cut from a different cloth.
How different is he than Mike Trout when it comes to that? Or is he?
No, I think he is different. I think Mike's a little bit different in terms of just the attention that he seeks or is comfortable with. I think Bryce, like I said, remember, Dan, when he was 12 or 13, these travel teams were flying him into tournaments to be, let's face it, kind of a ringer. You add somebody to your travel team roster for some big tournament. He's been a hired gun. He's been the guy that everybody's had their eyes on. Mike didn't grow up that way. So I think it's a different atmosphere. I always say that Bryce is kind of the epitome of what is now the travel player generation, where you play more for yourself and your skills and to be seen than you do for winning games. When we grew up, it was about playing for your high school team or your Legion team or your local Little League team. Those barriers are all gone now. Now you're just hired guns, and it's about showcase atmospheres where it's about your own individual ability. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but Bryce is the epitome of that new generation.
All right, play nice today at Citi Field there, Tom.
I'll try to. Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. Tom Verducci, Sports Illustrated senior writer, also works for Fox and Major League Baseball Network.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.